Welcome back to the Cossy channel. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. We have two big breaking stories. Kepa has done his medicals at Arsenal. He's passed the medicals and is now awaiting the announcement from Arsenal to confirm him as a new Arsenal player. $5 million deal activated with a release clause from Chelsea, and Arsenal have their man Mikel Arteta will have a new goalkeeper by the time we fly out for pre-season. The next big story is that officially Arsenal have announced the contract of Lewis-Skelly. 5 more years to the young 18-year-old have been added, and Arsenal are pleased with the development of the player. Mikel Arteta looks at him as one of the very important cogs in the machine, as he had a very good breakout season last campaign. Arsenal will progress on the Gerrard deal. Arsenal are ready to bid for Gerrard after the first 3 deals on Zubimendi, Kepa, and Christian Norgard. And we're also going to talk about Newcastle. They are signing Elanga, and they're also trying to sign João Pedro. Could that mean that Anthony Gordon can be allowed to leave this summer if they can get Elanga and João Pedro through the door? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. We'll talk about Rodrigo in this video too, because a decision is also very imminent, and many sources now in Spain are saying that Madrid want to first finish the Club World Cup run, and then they can determine whether to keep Rodrigo or to actually sell him this summer. All that and more in this video. Let's get into it. Let's start off with that big story from Fabrizio Romano. He's just confirmed that Kepa Arrizabalaga has now finalized his move to Arsenal. It's a $5 million deal. Medicals have been completed, and the player has passed his medicals as well. So Fabrizio Romano has confirmed right there that Kepa has done his medicals, completed them, and he is going to be announced as an Arsenal player. Like I said, we don't know the shirt number yet, but this is a wonderful signing for me. A player that has won the Champions League 2 times with Chelsea, with Real Madrid, and is now coming in with this Arsenal team that already have a very fantastic goalkeeper that is going to work with. They're both coming in from Spain. That is very clear communication. I think the goalkeeping staff have already a good line of communication with Raya. It might be Spanish, it might be English, and I think for me, it just makes a lot of sense. A goalkeeper that speaks Spanish with Ryan, and a goalkeeper that has been in England enough to play for Chelsea and Bournemouth. He understands English very, very well. So I think there won't be any kind of collision. And this is what Arsenal avoided by not signing Jean Garcia. There won't be any kind of collision in roles. Kepa comes in as a second choice goalkeeper. He understands that Ray is going to be number 1 and he's going to be number 2. He's not young. He's not going to be crying out for minutes like Jean Garcia would. For me, it's a good signing, and it helps us settle. I think Kepa can be here for maybe 3 years, maybe 4 years, maximum 5 years. Now, imagine Arsenal in the next 5 years do not sign a first-choice goalkeeper or a second-choice goalkeeper. That department is settled. And that is the quality that Mikel Arteta always wanted. A player that can be ready to start if Raya gets something, anything happens to him, he gets injured, he gets a booking, he gets a red card, Kepa can step up. And then in games where Arsenal have been struggling, remember last season, I talked about Arteta's inability in cup competitions, but also one of the reasons as to why Mikel Arteta is at times handicapped in cup competitions, the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, is that he wants to rest some players, but the second 11 isn't as good as the first 11. I mean, you don't have to have a second 11 that is as good as the first 11, but you should have a strong 11 to go and beat Crystal Palace in the FA Cup, to go and beat maybe Brentford in the Carabao Cup, even if you're not playing your first 11. Now, if you look at what Arsenal are trying to do, and that's why I really pity people who are coming out to say, oh, this and this is not a good signing. Kepa, as a second-choice goalkeeper for the second team, that's a very, very good signing. Now, you have maybe White as part of the second team, Jakub Kiwior as part of the second team, Ricardo Calafiori as part of the second team, and if we can sign Gerrard, he can also be part of the second team. That is decent enough, right? White, Gerrard, Calafiori, and Calafiori, Gerrard, White, and Kepa. I think that is a very good foundation for you to go with in the FA Cup. And then you think about the midfield, Arsenal's surplus players, Christian Nogard at the base of the midfield, Mikel Merino also, and Ethan Nwaneri. Again, that is another set of midfielders that you could play with, and Fabio Vieira could be coming back, and you could also add some quality. And then up top, you have Leandro Trossard, who is not a regular starter. That's where we need to improve, because apart from Jesus, who is always injured, we don't have so many options. And that's what Arsenal are trying to work on. So for me, Kepa, like I've already said, good signing. Arsenal have done very, very good business. Now, after that, Arsenal have also announced the signing of Lewis-Skelly. He has signed a 5-year deal. He's going to be one of the players right at the moment that Arsenal, he's one of the players that have extended their deals at Arsenal this summer. That is the Kepa deal. So this is Lewis-Skelly confirmed right there. You can see him next to Andre Bata. He has signed his new deal, 5 years at the age of 18. So that is until he's 23. He has actually put pen to paper. And this has been confirmed by Jeff McNicholas. You can also find it on the Arsenal website. Miles Lewis-Skelly has now signed his long-term contract with Arsenal. Deal running until 2030 makes him one of the highest paid young players in world football. The boy from Hell End has locked in at Arsenal. Arsenal are very, very happy, of course, with this one. Lewis-Skelly has said on his new contract, I'm so proud and happy. I know those words are simple, but I think they sum up how I feel signing for this club. I am a fan, and it's like a dream come true for me. I am embodied, and I've embodied the values of Hell End and come through. I still got a lot of years ahead of me, so I keep staying humble and being a good person. That's the most important thing to me. And then he says, I want a legacy. I want to win everything there is to win in this game. I want to win trophies on the biggest stages whilst a person that's always learning and stays grounded, which is so important. I know I've taken a lot of experience from the games about the positive moments, the mistakes that I've made. I'm definitely more ready now for the next season. I just want to keep learning and keep improving as a player. Miles Lewis-Skelly has signed his deal at Arsenal. I think there was an occasional burst of panic attacks when Madrid were saying they were lining up a move for Lewis-Skelly. And you don't blame Real Madrid. Actually, you wouldn't blame any other club. Lewis-Skelly had one of the best performances last campaign against Real Madrid. Like, this guy is 18 and he had one of the best games in his career so far against Real Madrid, home and away. And the players he was going against, Rodrigo, Vinicius Jr., Kylian Mbappe, Jude Bellingham. It is crazy. I know it's crazy, but Lewis-Skelly is a mad talent. He's a phenomenal of a player. I don't remember the last time we saw a player come out of the Arsenal Academy and we were like, this is unbelievable. Even with Saka, you know, there was a lot of polishing for him to do in order for him to convince us. The Saka we see right now is so different from the Saka that we got to see like 6 years ago. But with Lewis-Skelly, he comes out of the academy and he plays at left back, actually. He plays at left back because the midfielder is played in midfield almost all his life. And is deployed at left back because there is an injury crisis at Arsenal and he performs superbly. To put this into context for you, Lewis-Skelly at 18 years of age has successfully benched Alexander Zinchenko, who cost about £35 million. He has benched Ricardo Calafiori, who cost more than £35 million, and he benches Kieran Tierney. And no Arsenal fan, no Arsenal player out there or fan is complaining that why is Lewis-Skelly starting over Kieran Tierney? Why is Lewis-Skelly starting over Ricardo Calafiori? We are okay. We are comfortable. And this is part of the good work that Andre Bata obviously is doing at the club. Like I say, this summer was always going to be important, but also busy and very, very tricky. It's not about signing in the new players and just getting new players done. It was all about getting deals done across the shop. This is a 360 window for Arsenal. You've got to look at incomings, you've got to balance that with outgoings, but then you've got to look at contract renewals, right? Who do you keep, who do you don't keep, and the players that are non-negotiably for keep, you must tie them down nice and early. And Andre Bata has done that absolutely quickly and very, very well. So Lewis-Skelly for me, all I can say, I wish him all the best. I wish he can have a wonderful season coming up. I also wish the same for Ethan Nwaneri, because Nwaneri, again, for me, he's one of the players that we haven't seen enough from, and not because he has not given us enough. It's just that the manager has not given him, enough chances, right? For me, Nwaneri is a talent, but Lewis-Skelly, boy oh boy, it's hard to believe that he's just 18. It's hard to believe that he's from the academy, because when he plays alongside Rice and when he plays alongside Partey and when he plays alongside the likes of Trossard, this guy is a real gem. But talking about gems, Arsenal are looking to sign another phenomenal world-class talent, and now we are ready to bid to Ajax for Jarell Hato. Arsenal believe they've done enough work on player side in terms of understanding personal terms, understanding the structure of the deal that the player wants and his management, and now it's up to Arsenal and Ajax to agree a deal for Jarell Hato. Arsenal are ready to bid, and then a deal can be done after completing the first 3 signings of the summer. And this is what I told you yesterday, that when you do the easy deals and when you complete the easy deals, you gain momentum to go and do the deals that matter. You go and do you gain momentum to go and do the deals that are a little bit difficult. The Real Sociedad deal for Martin Zubimendi, that wasn't easy. All right, that wasn't easy. But that was not an Andre Bata deal. That was a Jason Eto stroke Edu deal. It's a deal that was started from last summer, right? So Andre Bata, after completing his first 2 official signings of the summer for under his name, he's now going for Jarell Hato and is ready to bid for a fee between 40 to 45 million euros. Yeah, guys, we are done with the easy work. It's now big work. We are now going to see Arsenal do the work that we want to do, the deals that we want to hear about. Maybe this week Jarell Hato comes in. We have seen Arsenal can do a deal in 24 hours. We didn't know, right? Actually, there was a joke online that Arsenal could sign a midfielder in 5 hours, but we cannot sign a striker in 5 years. I think a striker is coming. I think we will see a number 9 very soon. Be patient. But Jarell Hato could as well be Arsenal's 4th signing of the summer. The order doesn't matter. Honestly, the order doesn't matter. All about, all that matters is, can we get them in, right? The order doesn't matter. Now, Arsenal are waiting for Rodrigo, but a decision, according to sources in Spain, might actually come after the Club World Cup. Madrid might give us an answer on whether Rodrigo will be our player after the Club World Cup. That means that Arsenal have to wait a little bit longer. I think we might, if Rodrigo is going to be the Arsenal left winger that we sign, I think we don't do this before preseason. I think we do this during or even after preseason. I won't be surprised for Arsenal to sign Rodrigo on deadline day. I won't be surprised. I don't want this to happen really, but I won't be surprised if we get this deal done on deadline day. But I'm happy to wait. I'm happy to wait. If I'm waiting for Rodrigo, it's gonna happen. I am happy to wait. But also sources are saying that the interest in Anthony Elanga and the interest in João Pedro from Newcastle is not just to strengthen the team, but there might also be a possibility that Newcastle get these two players and then they are willing to let one player go, maybe Anthony Gordon. Arsenal like Anthony Gordon. They are big admirers of Anthony Gordon. Mikel Arteta likes the player. And if the right offer comes in, Newcastle might actually sell as they're looking to sign Elanga and João Pedro. Now, obviously, I think Newcastle are going to have a couple of departures. Callum Wilson is leaving. They might have to replace him. João Pedro can do that, can play as a centre forward. They also need to sign a more established right winger. I think Jacob Murphy is a good player, but they need to sign a more established right winger. So maybe Anthony Elanga comes in at right wing, right? Anthony Elanga, João Pedro, and Isak could be the next, could be the front three for Newcastle next season if they sell Anthony Gordon. And these two moving, definitely you have a chance to sign Anthony Gordon if you're Arsenal.